This is another session whereby we are dealing with money and banking practice. Learning has no end. We keep on learning, we keep on getting new information, and every time we grow. Money and banking practice. Course outline. So the areas that we are supposed to cover in this area of money and banking, we'll look at introduction, theoretical and empirical of money, structure and money. Structure of money, structure of central bank, the policy of money, the creation of money, the role of control, monetary authority, intermediary theory, banking principle, and finally banking operation. So our interest is actually to learn the purposes of money. So introduction. In the introduction, we'll be looking at these very important components. So in the theory of money and banking practice, we can consolidate or squeeze all the program into 4 areas. 1, introduction, whereby we look at the terminologies, function, and history of money. Then we come to the theories, whereby we look at the quantity theory and intermediate theory. Then we narrow down to banks or banking system. Now in banks, we look at the banking principle, banking operation, central banks. Then policy instruments, monetary policies and fiscal policies. So we start with the first one, which is introduction, terminologies. What is money? The commodity or token acceptable as means of payment. So when you talk about money, it's a token or a commodity which is actually acceptable as means of payment. Bank. What is bank? Bank is a financial institution which accepts deposits and advance loan from and to the public over a given period of time. So this gives us the major functions of a bank: accepting deposits and advancing loan. But you realize currently it has grown. Theory. What is theory? Contemplative and rational type of abstract or generalizing thinking about phenomena or the result of such thinking. So theory is based on observation. You observe, then give the pattern, then you bring forth what we call empirical, then after the hypothesis, you give us the theory. Money and banking theory is just a practice or a discipline which gives us the operation of money in an economy over a given period of time. Something generally accepted as medium of exchange, a measure of value, or a means of payment. Now, that is according to Merriam-Webster definition. So we have actually defined what is money from Merriam-Webster. Function. The function of money has been classified into 3. 1, primary function, 2, secondary function, and finally, contingent function. So we look at the first one, primary function. What do you mean by primary function? So this is a fundamental or critical function of money. Medium of exchange. What do you mean by medium of exchange? Money is used as medium of exchange. So you use money to exchange goods and services. Remember, before the coming of money, we used to have barter trade, whereby you exchange goods for goods. But now we have money, and money is a commodity which has been accepted to be used as medium of exchange. You exchange goods for money. Unit of value. Unit of value, we are actually referring to, you can measure all items in terms of money. So we have one concept in accounts which is called money measurement concept. All business transactions must be measured in terms of money. That is what we mean by unit of value. Secondary function, standard of deferred payment. Now in standard of deferred payment, we are talking about, in all business transactions, we have two types of business transaction. We have cash transaction and credit transaction. Now in cash transaction, you buy goods and you give money and you get goods. In credit transaction, it is a mutual agreement or understanding between the buyer and the seller, but payment will be made in the future dates. So standard of deferred payment, the now money can be paid in the future, which means you take goods now and make payment in the later future. Store of value. Money can be used to store value. You can store your goods in terms of money. Why? Is because money is portable and money is durable. So you can actually store all perishable goods in terms of money, which is valuable and portable. Transfer of value. Another thing which money plays is transfer of value. You can transfer your value of money from one point to another because money is portable. You can actually transfer money from one account to another, from one company to another, from one business to another. That means money is flexible. You can change, it changes hands from one point to another. Number 3, secondary function. We have distribution of income, measurement, and maximization of utility. Distribution of income, we refer to the measurement of productivity. How can the production be measured? Now we have what you call factors of production. Now in factors of production, how can we measure earnings from land? How can we measure earnings from labor? How can we measure earnings from capital? The only form of measuring earnings from each and every factor of production is money. So distribution of income becomes a requirement. Number 2 function is measurement. All business transactions are measured in terms of money. You can measure the building in terms of money. You can measure the land in terms of money. Finally, maximization of utility. Now, utility is the level of satisfaction. How can we say somebody has been satisfied by particular activity or event? Money satisfies or measures the utility. Utility means, for example, in consumption, you are consuming particular type of food. Now, how can we measure your satisfaction? We only measure your satisfaction in terms of food that you're taking when we value how much you're taking in terms of money. So money becomes critical component in measuring utility. Remember, in utility, we have different types of utility. We have increasing utility, decreasing utility, and natural utility. So when the utility is increasing, we say we use what we call returns. So utility is critical component in money. So these are functions of money. So when you are told how money is functioning, please mention the 3 functions. Or the fundamental one are the first 2, primary function, medium of exchange and unit of value and store of value. history of money. Now, money has been going through evolution. Money has actually been traveling. The journey of money is very interesting. So in our next lesson, we'll be looking at the history of money. So thank you so much for listening and being attentive.